15.
Iconies led them to a tree close by. "It's buried there next to the tree," she said, pointing to a green pine-looking tree with her finger. Orion and some of his generals began to dig there. They soon hit something soft yet rigid, like a piece of cloth. The book wasn't buried that deep. "That's it," exclaimed Iconies. Orion lifted a book that was the color of clay. It didn't seem to be a magical book or anything. It was not very thick either. When he opened it, he could see colors and inscriptions in what seemed to be a foreign language, doodles that an 8-year-old would write. "Next page," instructed Iconies. Orion flipped several more pages, and he found symbols for the mystical stones, each one with a brief description beside it. "It's the same, but in our language now," informed Iconies. "I see," sighed Orion. Let me see," exclaimed Crimson, Mr. Napoleon, and Layla as they all approached the book. "So where is this underwater breathing stone?" asked Crimson, getting to the point. "You gotta look for it there. Turn the pages. There's several," replied Iconies. Orion, who was still holding the book, flipped several more pages, each page signaling the stone's abilities. "There's more than I thought of," said Crimson, who was now next to it. "Way more." The book, which was handwritten, was not very organized in its format. Some of the stones were scattered between run-on sentences. The pages looked like they had scattered colored circles separated by doodles all throughout the book. "There it is," interrupted Mrs. Layla, stopping Orion's hand from turning more pages. She then pointed at a specific line in the book next to a blue stone. "The sapphire stone gives its user the ability to breathe underwater indefinitely." She then read a line, "Like fish, you'll be able to breathe and travel deep in the waters." "That's it," Crimson exclaimed. He then put on the mask and, with it, turned around, searching for a blue, shining, that matched the color of the corresponding blue hue. After a few seconds, he said, pointing east, "There it is, up in those mountains." He began walking towards it. Everyone followed. "Welcome to the group, Lady Iconies," Orion said, smiling at Iconies, still holding the book in his hands. "Do not make me regret this if you'd be so kind." "Off we go now," said Mrs. Layla. "Sapphire Stone, here we come," exclaimed Mr. Napoleon. They all followed Crimson, who was now tying the mask strings to his face. As he walked with the mask tied to his face for the first time, he even resembled the snake wizard before he took off the mask and gave it to Crimson. Mrs. Layla felt a slight shiver as she saw Crimson go, extending his right hand up front, seemingly hypnotized by his objective, the sapphire stone. "Here I go, Molly," whispered Crimson to himself. "Hang on a bit more,"